My creative brain never stops working. I would absolutely love to have a themed hotel room based on my personal style. I would absolutely love to design that. I would absolutely love to have a scare maze attraction at, a big theme park. I would absolutely love to make my world immersive for other people. Yes, I just looked to the right and saw a naked man. That is a sexy bathtub. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Today, I have thought about I'm trying to squeeze myself inside a wardrobe for confession. I just realised that I'm in the wardrobe with a load of rattling coat hangers, and maybe that's time to assess where this video is going to take me.
This is my kind of church.
A place where legends are born. This is where you belong.
Good morning, everybody. I'm dressed for the evening. I have just checked in to Chateau Denmark on Denmark Street in London. So this is a London focused video, and I have a few spare hours. I have a jam-packed day full of meetings, but I have a couple of hours downtime. So I thought I would play dress up and float around my hotel room in a gown, in a ball gown. Why not? And why not? And I've literally just checked into this room. It's called a townhouse apartment, and the decor couldn't be more me. For those of you who know, Chateau Denmark is a famous rock and roll hotel, and it has a lot of rock and roll history. It is on a street which is so pivotal for the British music scene, and the townhouses have now been turned into a hotel. And as I said, this room could not be more Brocarde. It is called All of the Sinners, which sounds like an invitation to misbehave, and I don't need an invitation, so I'm going to be trying to live up to that infamous room name. And as you can see, it's quite Gothic in here. Very me, as I said. It's quite Gothic. It's almost church-like. It's kind of regal and religious at the same time. You have those sumptuous purple colours and those kind of velvet drapes, which go perfectly with my very subtle morning outfit. And what am I doing in London? As I said, I'm going to do a few meetings this afternoon. I'm probably not going to scare the living daylights out of those people by turning up in a big gown, because it's not a subtle look, let's be honest. And then this evening, I'm going to the launch of Download Festival. Now you might be thinking, Download Festival is a long way off. It's in the summer, it's next summer, it's in 2005, it's half a year away. It's in 2005? No, it's in 2025, which is half a year away. So why are they having a party this evening? Well, they are announcing the lineup to the festival, and tickets are already on sale. In fact, I think tickets may have already sold out. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But this evening, they are going to announce who are the headliners, who's going to be performing. So they're having a party to celebrate the launch of Download 2025. I had an epic time at Download last year. I went ghost hunting. I found a few rogue ghosts hanging around waiting to listen to bands, which was kind of cool. It was amazing. I literally got to go into the festival site in the dead of night before anyone was there, and that was quite a unique experience and totally different from going to the music festival and interviewing all those bands and experiencing it high energy. So I got the best of both worlds. I got to see the ghosts and I got to see the music. I'm really quite excited to find out who's going to be performing next year. I kind of already know. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but by the time this video has finished, you will also know who the headliners are for Download. In fact, you'll probably know before this video goes live, because I believe that they are also making an announcement live on Instagram this evening. at the same time as they announce the lineup at the event. So I will be late to the party by the time this video goes live, but I'm going to enjoy my time flouncing around this room in my gown, being rather rock and roll, pretending to... The wardrobe, I just noticed the wardrobe. The wardrobe, which I will show you in a minute, looks like a confession booth. They are welcoming in all of the sinners, and then you can nip into the wardrobe for a little confession session in the morning, which sounds ideal. You can leave when you check out. All of your sins will be absorbed or absolved or absconded or whatever you want to say. You will be a sinner in the dead of night, and in the morning you will be a saint. Is Chateau Denmark haunted? Well, there's every possibility that that could be the case. I'm not necessarily here to go ghost hunting. I'm here to explore its rock and roll history. I will tell you a few cool stories. I will show you around this room. I'll show you what it's like to spend an evening in one of the townhouse apartments at Chateau Denmark. So if that sounds like your bag, then stick with me. You know me, I'm one of those wallflower types. Actually, part of me is, but that's not the part that you guys get to see. I love to melt away, sink into the furniture and disappear. Kind of not correct, but I kind of like this little, it's probably not meant to be a seat at all, it's meant to be a shelf, but it's kind of cool, the fact that you can slide into the bookshelf and kind of recline. It's actually a really cool spot to take a few photos, which I will do. I think this is like photo shoot heaven. This room is aesthetically very pleasing, so I will be taking as many photos as possible. I love to take photos. It's not a vanity thing. Even before I started making these YouTube videos, even before there was talk of ghosts, even before there was ghost hunts, even before there was music. No, there's always been music. Even before there was anything. My Instagram actually started as a kind of showcase for creepy, dark photography. And I've always loved to create images. Like, I find aesthetically it's quite pleasing for me. Creatively, it's quite pleasing for me to create beautiful, dark, haunting images in a variety of different locations. I used to do that and showcase that. So if you've been following me for a long time, it may be because you like my imagery and the way I present my aesthetics, and I will always love that. I'm one of those 360 artists. When I write a song, I will see the video. When I have an idea, I will see the visual. And all of that, my creative brain never stops working. I will always want to create, and whether it's sitting down quietly, when I'm not in the kind of mood where I want to be in front of a camera, I will sit down quietly with a notebook, write all my feelings down, write a song, write a poem, write words, just to get it out of my system. And then when I am in one of those kind of moods where I'm happy, or I'm one of those weird people that I'm never happy when I look back at pictures, when I look back at film, and I think most people are the same. Even listening to my own voice, I cannot stand it. And it's something that I've got used to because I do it so much now. But when I'm not wanting to be in front of a camera, and when I'm not wanting to talk, like, I will create images, and it's all just an extension of my creativity. And that makes me satisfied, because you can't always be in a recording studio. You can't always be on a stage. You can't always be on a ghost hunt. You can't always be talking to people in this way. And imagery is another way of expressing myself, I suppose. I used to be more heavily into concepts, like everything had to have a deeper meaning and everything had to have a purpose and a subliminal message. And I've moved away from that now. I'm really shallow these days. I'm completely shallow. No, I'm joking. I'm very deep as a person, and for a lot of people, far too deep. But aesthetically now, I concern myself less about every single little thing having to have a meaning and a purpose. And now I just like to shoot because it's creating, it's who I am, it's a part of what I do. And when you have locations like this or hotel rooms like this, it's hugely inspiring. It's literally me in a room, and one of my massive ambitions. And it would be quite cool if in a few years' time this comes into fruition and I look back and I remember the time that I was talking about this in Chateau Denmark. I would absolutely love to have a themed hotel room based on my personal style. I would absolutely love to design that. I would absolutely love to have a scare maze attraction at, a big theme park. I would absolutely love to make my world immersive for other people. And as a creative, that is such an epic thought. And even when I was a teenager, I used to go to Disneyland Paris. And if you watch my Disneyland Paris video, you'll hear me talking about the rock and roll Aerosmith roller coaster. And when I was a teenager, I was like, that is absolute goals. Having your own rock and roll roller coaster is a huge, huge buzz. And imagine that. Imagine sitting on a roller coaster and hearing your music take you through those kind of dark rooms or those haunted rooms. That would be absolute goals. So I'm working on that. That's my ambition. I've disclosed it to you now and I have to make it happen now. So watch this space. That is a side project for another day. But I digress. I digress far too much. I will get back to showing you around this room. And this guy I just looked to the right and I'll show you what captured my attention. Yes, I just looked to the right and saw a naked man. And even that art, I find that quite... We're just talking about concept photography, like the fact that the arrows are going through his chest and through his body. And yeah, make of that what you will. I think art, the beautiful thing about it is subjective and it's open to interpretation, but it's quite an interesting image. It's kind of a good one. The townhouse apartment is actually a suite. There is 2 rooms. There is the bedroom where I was just filming and showing you. And then there is I say living area, but it has a huge bath and a huge bar. So relaxation in a different way. There's no sofa. There is a TV. But yeah, this is feels like a kind of erotic party zone because you can kind of grab yourself a bottle of your favorite tipple or water if you're that way inclined, or coffee, and you can jump in the bathtub and go crazy. I think that this is kind of cool because this is not a minibar. Chateau Denmark, minibar, this is a bar. Why do things by halves? And I like that mentality. Like Chateau Denmark has my personality. So they do things big. They go big or they go home. All of the drinks are full-sized and they're not budget drinks either. You've got some nice vodkas, you've got some nice tequilas, so the party can come to you, which is ideal if you don't want to leave your hotel room. And I think that is what makes this hotel quite popular with rock stars and celebrities because, you want that downtime. You don't want those eyes on you. You don't want to be public. You don't want everyone staring at you. You want to chill and relax in your own surroundings. And this hotel is an ideal way to do that. And in fact, because this hotel is built in townhouse style, you can actually go to your townhouse without having to walk through a hotel lobby, without having to do that whole thing where millions of people are seeing you. So if you are an epic rock star, which for me is a goal, I'm not there yet, but we spoke about positive aspirations and inspirations earlier. So when I have my own roller coaster and scare maze, when I don't want to be seen by humanity, when I want to party in the comfort of my own suite, then I will be back to Chateau Denmark to update you on my life story. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy it and share it with you. And I was just completely distracted because I was just looking at my phone before I came into this room. And yesterday when I went to LA, I met a lovely lady who is a good witch called Patty Negri. And if anyone has watched Ghost Adventures with Zach Baggins, you will recognize Patty. She was on a few episodes and she is the resident psychic medium. We did a podcast together and I also did some filming with her at her house when I was in LA. And she just posted a video about intuition. And I was explaining to Patty when I met her that when I was growing up, I didn't necessarily know what a witch was. I didn't know how to identify myself. I always had really strong intuition about people. When I would meet a new person, sometimes I would get a really, really off feeling. And if I didn't follow that feeling, that relationship, whatever the context of it, be it a boyfriend, be it a lover, be it a friend, it would always transpire in a negative way. And I've learned over the years to trust my gut instinct. And there was a big discussion online about what trusting your gut instinct means. And I feel it's exactly that. Like, you will often, and I think you don't necessarily even have to be hugely psychic. You can often encounter people or situations, be it in business, be it in dating, be it friends. You can often have a really strange feeling about someone, and you don't necessarily know why. And the older I've got, the more understanding of my own abilities, the more I've learned to trust that gift and to follow that and not feel bad for distancing yourself from certain people. Because when you have that sort of full body reaction to someone where you literally can't tolerate something, then it's kind of like your body's way of signaling, almost like waving a huge red flag in front of you. And I feel like everyone should follow that. And yeah, there's often a reason, there's always a reason. Someone was sharing a story about a woman who was on a dating show. I don't remember the name of the dating show, and I don't remember the name of the serial killer, but someone was sharing with me the story of a woman who was on a dating show, and she got matched with a man, and she thought he was really, really creepy, so she refused to go on a date with him. Later, he turned out to be a serial killer, and if she had accepted that date, most likely she would have been her next victim. So that is a prime example of killer instinct. Well, we can call it killer instinct, because she instinctively recognized that someone was a killer. And even though she didn't realize it at the time, following that instinct saved her life. So it's quite a good lesson. And I've completely digressed from bars and champagne and having wild party nights and acting like a rock star. But I think for me, part of that rock star mentality, it's not about, excess. I mean, there's elements of the music industry that are about excess, even if it's just excessive art. Like, musicians have this all-encompassing personalities where when they go into the studio, they're so immersed in their craft, and I'm like that. But I feel like part of being a rock star is actually trusting yourself and being a solid individual and following your own mind. I've always been one of those weird people, and when I was growing up, people used to think I was weird, but I was not afraid to be myself. I was not afraid to be different from other people, and not in an obnoxious way. Like, I'm not trying to be different, or I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I'm so different to everyone else. But if you don't follow everyone else, you do find yourself on quite a fascinating, quite an interesting life path. And someone said to me, the key to freedom is not caring what people think. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not there yet. There is an element of me that does care what people think, or does care what certain people think. But general strangers, I'm getting to the point where I really do not care if you have an opinion on me. And of course, plenty of people do have an opinion on me. Plenty of people have an opinion on everything. And if you're one of those people who doesn't have an opinion on something, then I really think you have to question who you're trying to please, because everyone deep down knows what they think about certain situations. Everyone deep down knows what they like, knows what they hate, knows who they are. So a little bit of wisdom from the Rockstar suite. Another cool thing about this hotel, and this feels very Alice in Wonderland-y, when you have the tiny little door frames. Now, this is a listed building, or a listed row of townhouses, and as such it means that the architectural features cannot be interfered with. So things like room structure cannot be changed, and things like these tiny small door frames cannot be altered. And I kind of love the fact that there is what essentially feels like a secret door. It's not that secret, and I'll tell you what's behind it in a minute. But I kind of love the fact that they've kept those touches, or they've had to keep those touches. Bet you're wondering what's behind the door. Narnia. I'm going to open the door. Or like the Beetlejuice experience, I'm going to open the door, I'm going to step into the afterlife, and Beetlejuice is going to be waiting, and I'm going to be dancing around with all the ghosts. See, my imagination is quite a beautiful thing, but what is actually behind this door is, wait for it, da da da, a toilet. You may have been able to guess exactly what I was going to reveal then, but yes, this is the toilet and the shower room. But if you don't like showering, if you prefer to take a bath, then this one is quite special. So yeah, bathtubs. This is a good one. And marble, bright red. You gotta love it. That is a sexy bathtub. And yeah, I'm here for it. Another cool thing to mention is that the floors are covered in leather, so you're not going to be walking on some bog standard carpet if you stay at Chateau Denmark, specifically not in this Gothic style suite. But I feel a little bit like this is turning into a MTV Cribs, although this is really not my crib. I wish it was. I wonder how they'd feel about me moving in for a few years. I don't think that's going to happen. But I hope you enjoyed my little random room tour, and kind of nice to showcase when you have a room that's worth seeing. I find it really funny when you watch people on YouTube and they're like, this is a room tour, and it's literally just a bed in a room. But this is a room that you can tour, and I'm kind of interested to see what happens after dark. I feel like I have been talking to you guys for so long, and if I don't get changed, I am probably going to miss a lot of my meetings, and we can't have that happening, because as much as I'd love to flounce around all day, take a bath, enjoy this room, then I gotta hustle. I've got to make those dreams come true. I've got to get into those discussions about Brocarde roller coasters and all of that kind of stuff. And if I laze away the day here, then that might not happen. So, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Today I have thought about... Sorry, that was kind of lame. This would be an ideal confession booth. If I had a different dress on, I could probably put my knees by my chin and properly shut the door. But as you can see, I'm trying to squeeze myself inside a wardrobe for confession. And I mean, my worst crime today and my worst sin today is thinking about chocolate brownies. So I'm doing all right, really. I'm not letting evil creep into my mindset. I'm not really sinning yet, but the day is still young. So fun fact for anyone who's staying in this room, you can try and squeeze yourself into the wardrobe. In fact, there's a whole compartment next door which would have made this slightly easier. But hey, I'm not one to take the easy road. As you can probably tell by my life choices. Let's get all deep in the wardrobe. Confessions with Mr. Nobody. You can tell that my espresso is now kicking in because I'm starting to go slightly delirious and talk absolute rubbish. But if you've been following me for a long time, that's part and parcel of what I do. It's part and parcel of the Brocarde experience. A little bit of madness goes a long way. Wonderland, Mad Hatters, tea parties, wardrobes, confession booths. Wardrobes that look like confession booths. Amen to that. After all of that, this side of the wardrobe I can fit into and not quite stand up, but another fine example of how I could have done something a lot easier. I could have got into this side of the wardrobe. I'm actually really rambling now, and I just realised that I'm in the wardrobe with a load of rattling coat hangers, and maybe that's time to assess where this video is going to take me. It's gone down a little bit of a strange road. It's a little bit like Narnia, but there's no Narnia. It's just the wardrobe. When you stay here, not only do you have your own personal butler, but you've got some quite sick playlists, which are right up my street. Good times with bad company. Purple Trouble. Modern psychedelia. I can definitely be a geek to this. Asking forgiveness for that very sin. For those of you who didn't guess what the hell was going on there, and I say hell like hell, I've gone to hell right now, that was me dancing to Bohemian Rhapsody, and that's gonna look doubly weird because we probably have to remove the music for copyright purposes. So we're gonna put a little bit of line dancing to that. So I look like a complete and utter nutter. But I was trying to orchestrate what fun you can have in this very sweet. Get your groove on to Queen. Get the old bow wrapping. And yeah, I've just got to get out. I've just got to get right out of here. Oh my God, this is like turning into a cheese plate, a cheddar buffet. I'm now going to the Download event, the Download launch party, and you're gonna come with me. Might keep the camera in the bag, might pull it out. I don't know yet. I'm gonna see how things progress, gonna see how confident I become. But by the end of this video, one way or another, by hook or by crook, you will know who's performing at Download 2025, not Download 2005, which I earlier referred to it as, because I'm going back in time. I'm doing the time warp. And no, you're not going to see me doing that dance. So yeah, the night is still young. Brocarde is going hard. Brocarde has lost her mind, seemingly again. So yeah, come with me. This is going to be a fun one. I've just arrived at number 1 Marylebone, which is the venue for this evening's event. And it's also a former church, or a derelict church, although it's not really derelict, it's an event space that used to be a church, which is actually my favourite type of venue. I'm pretty obsessed with the architecture and design of churches, and there's quite a large possibility that this venue could also be haunted. So if someone doesn't rescue me from the ghost pool, I might find myself tumbling down the rabbit hole and searching for ghosts, which was not really tonight's mission, but there is quite a high probability that this venue could actually be haunted.
We're inside now. This is my kind of church.
metal gala. Great turnout. Here we are, we're in year 22 of Gala Festival. It's incredible that we're still going strong. I've got to say a big thank you to everybody involved, particularly my team that once again put up with my shit for another year. So Danica, Jenny, Pam, Phoebe, thank you so much. Also got to say a big thank you to the fans who have supported Download throughout the years. They still keep coming, and while they keep coming, we'll still keep doing Download. So tonight we've got something very special up on these arches here. It's a video we put together called Est Momentum. So please look at the arches and watch the video.
There is a moment when the world holds its breath, where silence meets the storm, where hearts race and hands rise, where every soul feels alive in the space between the ordinary and the extraordinary. It is to here that you are called, a place where legends are born. This is where you belong. Here strangers become family. Here the walls we build fall away. Here you are free to be wild, to be loud, to be unapologetically you. We are no longer alone. We are one. We are Download. Let the music begin.
There you have it. Green Day, Sleep Token, Core, Weezer, Jimmy Eat World, Spirit Box, and it goes on and on and on. Big thank you for the bands for coming and being part of Download. Want to say a massive thank you to Paddy Considine, who came and did the video for us, again with the humans of Download as well. Thanks again to all you lot. The screen said it all. We think we're doing things right. Thank you for the support. See you in the field in June. Hopefully it doesn't rain. Have a great night.
Good morning. It is the morning after the Download launch event. I actually had a really fun night. I just got shown a video clip of me dancing around the room like a kid at a party. So I definitely had a good night. I will probably insert that footage just for your humour. Or if I don't end up inserting that footage, it will probably be on some Instagram story. You know, I was going to say I have no shame, but I'm not afraid of a little bit of craziness. I'm not afraid of dancing. Anyway, if you have been watching to get to this point in the video, you will have just seen who got announced to headline Download 2025. And the headliners are Green Day, Sleep Token, and Corn. And a lot of people won't be too surprised by that lineup. And if you follow the lineup for all of the big European rock concerts, you may be able to work out who's currently touring, who's currently promoting a new album, and who's likely to be at Download. But anyway, now you don't have to guess, now you know. And there were loads of other acts announced, which you will know if you look at the flyer. So yeah, fun evening. It's quite early actually, and I'm ready to rock and roll. I thought this jacket was so cute. It's really annoying me though. Who would have thought that these fluffy sleeves would molt everywhere? So it's the nicest jacket in the world. It's from Couples. But I'm covered in white fluff, which is really quite annoying if you're someone like me and you wear a lot of black. So yeah, I need to just walk around with someone lint rollering me. That's like another manifestation. I want my own personal lint roller. I'm getting a little bit carried away now. I'm going into full-on diva mode. I mean, I blame the room. And I'm standing in front of the glorious bathtub, and as you can see, it hasn't seen any water, which is a shame, which means that I have not had a spare second to soak in a bathtub, sadly. I wish I could. I wish I could spend the morning just soaking in bubbles and dreaming the day away, but sadly I have a bit of a jam-packed day today, and I'm actually going to have a haircut, which terrifies me. I put off having my haircut and I go when it's absolutely necessary. And you're gonna judge me for this, but it's actually been a year since I had my haircut, and it's touching my waist, which is ideal. Like, I love having long hair and I look absolutely terrible with short hair. I'm not going to show you any pictures of that, but there was a whole hair period which I want to forget. Me with short blonde hair, because it was over-processed, and I would love to have long blonde hair. I totally would, but dyeing my hair black has completely changed the condition, how I look, and now I can have long, fairly healthy hair. But some of you are going to say, oh, it's not that healthy though, is it? Because you haven't had it cut for a year. Well, it's going to be healthy this afternoon, and I'm the most anxious person in a hairdresser chair. I'm like, please just cut a tiny bit off, because I'm terrified of someone getting scissor happy and me coming out with a bob. So fingers crossed that does not happen. I will be sad to leave this hotel room. You know, like I said yesterday, I'd quite like to check into here for a good few months and enjoy London and enjoy. I'll probably tire myself out if I do that. Don't know how many more dancing around the rooms in the dead of night my little body can handle. But that's a conversation for another day. I wish I could take you around London. Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna gracefully bow out of making videos for today. I'm gonna sign off, and this is a random one. I'm gonna sign off now, and I hope you enjoyed having an insight into what it's like to stay in a rock and roll themed hotel such as Chateau Denmark. I forgot to tell you some of the rock and roll stories that have happened within these buildings. I was saying yesterday, they have been frequented by people like Vivienne Westwood, the Sex Pistols, tons and tons of famous names. And this building that I'm in at the moment used to design album artwork. So some of your favorite albums would have been designed from this very, very building. So that's a fun one to look into. If you're a music geek, do a little bit of Googling, do a little bit of research, and there's also a very, very famous guitar shop downstairs. So this is music heaven for anyone who loves rock and roll. So check it out. If you enjoyed watching this, then follow, like, subscribe. Come on my crazy little journey with me, because I'm going to be expanding. I'm not just going to be doing ghost hunts. I'm going to be doing fabulous locations. I'm going to be taking this camera everywhere. Well, not everywhere. I'm going to be taking this camera around the world with me and sharing some of my life. Not too much of my life, because that would be far too scary for me. But yeah, so if you're interested in my journey, spiritual, musical, whatever I'm going to be up to over the next few months, then keep watching and yeah, say hi if you're nice. Yeah, share, give me some love. I love positivity. No hate. No, that's asking for it because someone's going to watch this and go, oh yeah, I'm going to hate on you. So please don't. But anyway, I am blabbering. I need some caffeine, I feel. Or maybe that's exactly what I don't need because that's going to make me blabber even more. So I'm going to enjoy my day in London. I'm going to leave you here. And thanks again for watching. And until next time, bye.